Hi, everyone, and welcome to Where Your Stories. I'm Rebecca, and I'm here with Logan, the creator of this podcast and the founder of Inclusionware.
Hey everyone. Where Your Stories is all about people sharing their real experiences, especially around mental health and neurodiversity, in a way that's honest, relatable, and still has room for fun.
And the name really matters here. Where Your Stories comes from Logan's clothing brand, Inclusionware, which is about making space for conversations around mental health, neurodiversity, and belonging.
Yeah. The idea is that we all carry stories, and some people literally wear them. This podcast is another way of doing that, just with voices instead of clothing.
Nice. All right. Well, we're going to hop right into it with Logan as our first guest. We're going to use the same format every episode, starting off light. And today, Logan, you don't get a pass just because you're one of the hosts. All right. So, first question for you, Logan, before we jump into your story. When life feels overwhelming, what's your go-to comfort thing?
Well, mostly it would be, probably me just sitting down on the couch and watching one of my favorite shows.
What's your favorite show?
Mom.
Why is it your favorite show?
Because it's about um, a bunch of these girls going through struggles with their alcoholism and figuring out ways to, well, work on what they've been working on through the program of Alcoholics Anonymous and build a better life with their friends and their children.
Awesome. I know you're the guest, but maybe I could answer some of these questions too.
Okay.
Well, you and I have done some stuff out in Carp, and one of the things that I've learned more recently is to do earthing. And I really do feel like that when I feel overwhelmed, if I go and lay in the grass, especially in the summer, right now it's kind of cold. I guess laying in the snow would be good too if you have the proper attire. But it does really allow you to just sort of let go and connect with nature. So I feel like that's a good one. What do you did that with us? What were your thoughts on that?
I found that it was kind of I found that it was nice during the summer. I don't know if I do it during the winter because I'm not a fan of the cold.
We
It
could
was nice to just get your mind off of the
we could do
well.
snow angels.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, yours and mine's go-to comfort thing definitely fits the inclusion wear vibe, right? Just sort of chilling and all that stuff, right?
Comfort is kind of well.
Awesome.
I don't know. I like comfort.
Yeah. But not, I guess it doesn't really fit the vibe if you're in the winter because you're too cold.
Yep. It's not comfortable anymore.
Yeah, you'll have to start designing some like winter wear. Ooh, some toques maybe.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like that.
trying to work on winter jackets.
Yeah,
Problem is the because of the lining and stuff. It's really expensive to make.
yeah, yeah. What do you have so far? Like in your line of clothing?
Right now, I have sweaters and t-shirts. I tried to do a mug, but well, they're like $20 for a mug that's like 11 ounces. I'm like, nah.
Yeah. So you're learning about promoting mental wellness, but you're also learning about business. Yeah.
Wait,
Awesome.
it's been fun.
Okay. So let's jump into the story. So you started Wear Your Stories and Inclusion Wear for a reason. So where does this all begin? So when did you first realize your experiences with mental health or neurodiversity were shaping how you saw the world?
Well, I mean, I've been experiencing it well most of my life, but it's really been more prominent since grade seven when I started going to a different building, a different school. There was a lot more people, and well, Then I started to notice I would have more seizures, and it really affected my mental health because, well, the staff there weren't really well. They didn't really understand the issue that much because they're trying to focus on so many kids at once.
So can you tell us like what are the things that you're dealing with or maybe you've been diagnosed with? What are some of the things?
I've been diagnosed with autism, general anxiety disorder, depression, ADHD, and functional neurological disorder.
Okay. And so you went to a smaller private school, and then when you went into grade 7, you went into the public system. And so, like you were saying, it was a bit different, bigger classes, bigger school, much bigger school, right? With a lot of kids, a lot of things going on. Uh, and so what have been some of the difficulties?
The main difficulties for me was, well, there wasn't that as much one-on-one support, which means they couldn't really understand well, your diagnoses or what has gone with what you already had previously experienced at the other school. They also couldn't really implement your individual educational plan as well. So they kind of just lumped me into everybody else.
So for people who don't know, because I didn't know until I met you actually, what FND was, and we've learned a lot about that. So tell us more about what that is.
Functional neurological disorder is a neurological disorder that causes your brain to misfire, which means either your brain, so let's say with paralysis, there's nothing wrong with your legs are fine, but your brain really wants to believe that there's something wrong with your legs. So
Okay.
it just decides it doesn't work. Or with seizures, it's like there's nothing wrong with your brain, like nothing's really neurologically something's happening, but like there's no damage to your brain that would be causing seizures, but instead your brain's like, you know what? I really want to have seizures today.
Right. And what causes the onset of some of these things?
For me, mostly it's anxiety, but there's also environmental medication or physiological, which means it could be if you're sick one day, or it's a wide spectrum of things that can cause it.
Okay. So you mentioned when you moved schools, do you feel like there was a moment where conversations around mental health weren't happening in the way that you needed?
I noticed that there were mostly the when I brought up mental health, mostly it was just about like, well, it's not an excuse, and you're still like everybody else. You don't have as much challenges. Mental health doesn't count as a real disability. Because I was trying to get the supports through educational assistances, and they said, well, it doesn't really count as a real disability. It's not real.
Right. And how'd that make you feel?
Made me feel left out. It made me feel that I couldn't get the support that I needed to.
Okay. How did this, your story and everything that you've dealt with and are dealing with, how did that influence the creation of inclusion wear?
I want people to realize through, well, spreading awareness through, well, clothing that you're not alone and there are people out there that know what you're really going through. And, well, instead of people saying it's not a real disability, it's like, all right, well, we have problems together. We're not just building blocks. We need individualized care. We need to be supported. We need to know that we actually we need differences. We need accommodations. We need to know that we're actually important.
Amazing. I love it. And I think as you're developing inclusion wear and learning about business, you think it's important to give back, right? You've spent a lot of time at Chio as a youth. So what is your hope that you'll be able to do with inclusion wear and maybe with Chio?
I'm hoping that one day we can set up a program with Chio where every single T-shirt bought $1 or something like that gets donated to the Mental Health Foundation.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, Logan, just as we're going to do with all of your guests, I think it's really important that we validate and look at thanking you for sharing and being vulnerable. It takes a lot of courage, what you're doing with this podcast, with your clothing brand, sharing your story. I really do feel is going to change a lot of people's lives and give people a voice, that has been silenced for a really long time.
Yeah, I'm tr- I'm trying my best to bring it outwards, people's voices.
Amazing. Okay, so one thing we really care about at Wear Your Stories is showing that coping doesn't have to be big or perfect, right? So, what's one small thing that helps you stay grounded when things feel heavy?
Well, I mean, one of my main things was, well, the same thing with watching an episode of Mom, but also I do kind of like comforting food as well. Like if I'm well down, maybe chicken noodle soup or green tea.
Interesting. The green tea, I didn't know you drank it. I know you're a coffee drinker.
I try my best to drink tea, but well,
Yeah,
better
awesome.
than coffee.
In your time, have you learned any like meditation or like I know you just got a VR set. Is that like, do you find that calming? Like, or connecting with friends or
I find that you can. I find that it helps you bring out, like, escape from where you are right now and bring you
okay,
to a place where you want to be to calm down, maybe. Like,
awesome. Okay, we always want to end on a note that reminds people that mental health conversations can still have humor. So, this is my favorite. We practiced this one before. If your mental health today was a weather forecast, what would it be?
I want to. I want to say cloudy with a chance of meatballs again, but
I think you
to
should.
be, to be more accurate today, it would be, probably, I don't know. It's not snowing outside right now, but like, it's cold enough where like any time it can just start going.
Okay. Okay, I like it. I like, what I find very interesting because we practiced this and I had a totally different like mood that day. And so I remember saying I was kind of like a tropical storm where it was sunny and then like rainy and then chaos and whatever. And that is generally my life. But today I don't know if it's like we're getting close to the break or I don't know. I wasn't like crazy busy today, so I think like I would have a different forecast for today. Today was more like something more calm. Maybe just like I don't know, what would that look like? Maybe like sunny and cloudy with cloudy periods. Nothing like too crazy.
I know why you're getting more like that because you're excited to get away from all your students and take a break.
No,
I
no.
know.
No, it's the madness behind the scenes. I love the student part. That's my favorite part.
Yeah,
So,
probably the everything else that's not revolving around the students running a school.
yes. Yes. But you know that you're a business owner now.
I'm trying.
All right. Well, Logan, thank you for being brave enough to start Wear Your Stories by sharing your own story.
And thank you for co-hosting with me. This is exactly the kind of space I wanted to create where it's, well, where, I mean, people are honest and, well, they feel like they can be human.
Amazing. So yeah, so stay tuned for our next episode. We've got a couple people already lined up to have this same conversation. And we're looking, we're moonshot thinking. We're starting local, we're starting in Ottawa, but our goal is to do what, Logan?
Our goal is to spread, well, our goal is to spread across the country and maybe bring out everywhere, not just Ottawa.
Mm-hmm. And we want to get Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, please come on.
Ryan
I
Reynolds.
already emailed your team.
Yes, yes. So we are wearing our stories and we are moonshot thinking and we are going to spread this all over the world. All right.